Hey there, giant fans of fun. It's Thad, the theme park giant, and today it's Tuesday, August 22nd. Had to think about that for a second. 2023, and I am in Williamsburg, Virginia, at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. One of the most beautiful parks in the world. One of the better coaster collections you're gonna find. Just a top tier theme park all around. And my favorite ride, Alpengeist. Already been on it a couple times today. There are no lines right now. The park is pretty dead. I picked the right day to come and I am having a great time. So come along and join me. We're gonna have a giant day of fun. One of the prettiest parks in the world. Even the walk from the parking lot into the park takes you through a really nice forest. I love this place. Was here a year ago, still had to come back. One of the nicer entrances. Playing that fancy classical music, make me feel all proper in English. And all the times I've been here, I've never actually come down and walked on the Rhine River. Just trying to get over to the new ride and ended up over here. And the iconic Loch Ness Monster with its interlocking loops. This is basically one of the more famous roller coaster just pictures, and especially at this park. You'll see from the bridge later. I did hear a rumor recently that they might tear this down and rebuild it because it's so iconic they don't want to get rid of it. But it is apparently showing its age. I am going to ride it today. I didn't last year. It wouldn't be a park on this trip if it wasn't built on a giant hill. Just came down it and now going back up. The new ride for the year is the DarKoaster. This used to be an indoor dark ride similar to like Spider-Man at Islands of Adventure or Transformers at Universal. And they've turned it into a like jet ski coaster. For being a non-Disney or Universal park, this was actually a really well done ride. Hopefully the theming is pretty good on this. I have not read or watched anything on it because I knew I'd be coming.
Is the storm? Let's find out. You've escaped. This time. Once the snow wave comes to complete stop, please lift up your safety restraint. If you are not riding at this time.
I just waited about 45 minutes for DarKoaster. I wanted to knock it out of the way since it's the new ride and the capacity on it is pretty bad. I think it's 5 rows of 2 people, so 10 people per ride. There's only 2 trains. It is what I think they expected it to be. It's a family launch coaster in the dark with some theming. Yeah, Nothing crazy. It's super smooth. The launches are good. The effects aren't too bad. I mean, it's, like I said, it's exactly what they wanted it to be, so I would consider it a success. For me, not as crazy of a ride as I would like, but they did need a family coaster here, so I think it works really well. If you've never been to Busch Gardens Williamsburg, it really is one of the most beautiful parks in the world. They do amazing theming. Each area is themed to a European country or area, and they do it really well. And just the natural landscape is amazing here. With it being a Tuesday in, I guess, late August now, kids are back in school, the park is pretty empty. I'm hoping DarKoaster is the only real line I have to deal with today. Doesn't look like Verbolten is open yet. And it looks like it's not going to be open. Oh, that's disappointing. I really like that ride. Looks like they're getting it ready for Howl-O-Scream. Do they do something special? I don't know. You'll have to leave a note in the comments if you come here during Halloween. And this bridge is usually great for awesome views of the park, but they're doing some work on it right now. So you have to be pretty tall to be able to see things. The Italy area here is one of my favorite themed areas in any park. They do a really nice job with this. Just about everywhere you go at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, you're gonna be completely immersed in the theming like this. If you're in Italy, it looks like Italy. If you're in England, it looks like England. Pretty cool concept, huh? Last year I came to ride Pantheon the year it opened with some friends on a coaster trip I was doing, and I was unable to ride due to a height limit, but today I got to ride it. So we're gonna just chalk that up as a lucky day, say cha-ching, and move on with our life. And if I never get to ride it again, that's great, because I got to ride it. It is fun. Probably one of the less exciting Intamins that have been built lately, especially for what's supposed to be a bigger ride. But it's a unique layout with its multiple launches and the top hat that takes you down by the creek. It's pretty cool. It's fun. The Velocicoaster blows it away.
Oh God, did we?
Since this is in the Italy area of the park, it's themed to 5 Roman gods. I wouldn't say it's their best theming they've ever done at Busch. Kind of put it out in an empty field. But it is a newish roller coaster, so I'll take it. You can barely see it over there, but at the start, it launches you into this inversion, and then it sends you down the path to do forward and backwards launches up the spike and over the top hat. And there it goes. The first forward launch takes you about 3/4 of the way up. Track switches out, you get sent back, and then you get launched backwards up this spike. There's an airtime hill in there, and then you're launched up and over the top hat. And this weird side bank turn airtime hill thingy. And of course, every ride upside down stall now. You do get some nice views of the rest of the rides in the area from here. I'm gonna ride that train. I've never actually ridden the train, but Apollo's Chariot, Tempesto. I do love Apollo's, so I'm gonna have to go over there very soon. If you've been on VelociCoaster or any of the more recent Intamins, they are the same. Very comfortable, loose-fitting trains. Like most rides, they do have a test seat. Like I mentioned, these are very forgiving. So, make sure you try it if you're worried, but yeah, very forgiving restraints. Leaving this area much happier today than I did a year ago. Cha-ching. Oh. A better look at Tempesto's layout. I really like these. I think they're awesome for a clone. I think more parks should put these in. They don't take up much footprint and they're pretty crazy rides. I'm surprised more smaller parks don't use them because they're not that expensive and they do pack a punch. There goes Apollo's Chariot. Apollo's Chariot is the first B&M hyper coaster that was ever built back in 1999. It's still one of the better ones in my opinion. It's a great day to be at the park. There is no line for basically anything that I've seen except DarKoaster. But yeah, got 3 straight walk-ons on it. Great ride. And down into the ravine.
Please move to the far side to make room.
I've never taken the time to do the train here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, so we're gonna do it today. Just taking it nice and easy today.
Thank you for your attention and cooperation. Enjoy your ride aboard the Busch Gardens Railway.
Please remain seated at all times. For your safety, please remain seated. Friendly reminder, please keep all body participants on the train. That includes all feet. Please have the lieutenant firmly on the floorboards. Thank you.
Hold on to your little ones as the trestle. Please keep your hands, arms, and loved ones inside the train cars.
Balmoral Castle is, of course, Balmoral Castle in Edinburgh, Scotland. Our train is based off of one of the trains which carried Queen Victoria from London to Edinburgh, Scotland.
It's the spirit of the Alpengeist that will haunt you long after your family is released from its power.
Please remain seated at all times for your safety. Thank you.
The announcements. Please remain seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop. You may then exit to your right and right-hand side only. If you would like to continue on to Tweedside Station in Scotland or Festa Station in Festa, Italia, please remain on board and slide all the way to your left to allow room for boarding guests. Thank you for riding and have an excellent day at Busch Gardens.
As we pull into Chariot Station here in France, we ask you to please wait for the whistle before standing next to it.
This is Invader. We're over in the, I think it's like the French-Canadian area. I'm not very good at the specific names because they're not always just France or whatever. So this is a pretty much a family GCI wooden coaster. It is fun. I did it last year with some friends. Probably gonna hop on it again. Waited just about 10-15 minutes for Invader. Still a really fun little wooden coaster. I was a little worried right off the lift hill. It was a little rough, but actually once the first drop and everything happened, it was fine. Super fun ride, just what you'd expect from GCI. Little pops of air, a lot of twists and turns. Good stuff. Since I called myself out for it earlier, I said, I think it was like French Canada or something. This area is actually New France, which refers to Canada. So I always get very confused. I'm not a smart person, sorry. Alpengeist was a ride that I had on my bucket list for I don't even know how long, probably 15 years before I finally got to come here in 2012. This is still one of the best inverteds in the world. It is massive. I put this and like Montu in the same category. They're just big, fast, still smooth, still very intense. Awesome rides. As you get over into the area by Alpengeist, it's all themed to like a ski resort area. So you have all these, close calls with like little huts. You see skis and snow everywhere. They actually have skis on the side of the train. Just one of those little details I love about this ride. It is a beast. Busch Gardens does have one of the better log flumes out there. Takes you on a pretty long ride through the area, and then you get the final drop here. Les Scouts is the name. This massive track is more of Alpengeist, the white track, and then off to the left, the blue track is Griffon, another B&M. That's a dive coaster with a 90-degree drop. The Alpengeist, to me, probably still my main draw here. This part here uses some of that theming. Go right through that building and under the bridge. I'm not gonna lie, it's It's a little warm today, and that water does look refreshing. Everyone seems pretty wet though. More of Invader's layout from over here on the bridge. So many rides overlapping each other in this area. I love it. And with any B&M invert, they do usually have the big boy seat. Rows 4 and 5 at a minimum. They have two seat belt buckles. The normal seats have one. Some of the newer ones have added them to different seats, so make sure you're always trying them. Alpengeist station and area, as I mentioned earlier, is themed to a ski resort in the Alps. Everything around here looks like those, chalets and things like that. It is probably my favorite area in this park. I love the theming. One more look at the massive lift hill before we head over to Griffon. Got a front row and a back row on this. There is no wait. I waited like 2 trains for a front row. Man, this is by far the least busy I've ever seen this park, and I'm loving it. Music everywhere in the Germany section. Ooh, the sky ride's open. I've never done that here. Maybe I'll do that today. I want to hit Griffon and Loch Ness. And that will be about it. Griffon and Alpengeist both dropping at the same time here. Griffon is just like SheiKra in the Tampa Busch Gardens Park. Disney fans and Epcot specifically, what ride is this song on? Just say I did not expect to hear it in Germany. And over here in France, you find Griffon. Like I said earlier, it's the Parks Dive coaster, just like SheiKra in Tampa, if you're familiar. They did build this huge ride plaza back here for this ride when they opened it. No wait. Just like everything else today, it was a walk-on front row. No one in the station. This whole area is just completely empty. It's just kind of one of those days you dream about when you come to a park you like. Fun ride on almost called it SheiKra, Griffon. Super smooth. Obviously the holding brake is the main draw on this ride.
I'm going again.
And there's a second straight drop here after the brake. Just a couple tricks. Couple drops, couple inversions. Fun ride. One great thing about a park like this Even though it's completely dead today, they are running at least 2 trains on everything. Operations are moving pretty well. You know, they're not stacking Griffon trains, even though it's completely dead. So like, I love that, because it could be a lot worse if they were just running 1 train. Standing here at the bottom of Griffon's first drop. You'll hear the screams soon.
Thank you. Cause I thought y'all were gonna be like, nah, I'm proud of you.
Here comes the splashdown. Here's an angle of the drop without the sun right in our face. That might help. Really good camera work there. I always love the France area. Got all the flowers. Just kind of a quieter area outside of Griffon. Last couple times I was here, the eagles were not out. Unfortunately, the wolves, it's their day off, so they weren't out, but it's so cool seeing a bald eagle this close. Gonna get a last ride on Loch Ness before I leave for the day. It's been a long time since I've been on this one. Hopefully it doesn't murder me. Loch Ness is one of those rides that I had on my bucket list for a very long time. I remember the first time I saw a picture of those interlocking loops, completely fell in love with it. Luckily, I grew up near Worlds of Fun in Kansas City, and they had a similar ride, Orient Express, which is no longer with us. So it's nice to still ride some of these old arrows. All right, giant fans of fun, that's gonna do it for today from Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia. I had an incredible day here. This has brought back my love of this park. I was very disappointed last year when I was here for, I couldn't ride Pantheon, I was too tall. Today I wasn't, so we'll go with it. Pantheon, pretty good ride. Nothing really earth-shattering, which is pretty much what I'd heard. Like I said earlier, not the best Intamin install over the last few years. Alpengeist is running great. Apollo's Chariot is running great. I didn't do Tempesto. Griffon was running really well. And honestly, Loch Ness was in decent shape. I did get a little head snap on that first loop, and that's my fault. I should know better on those Ron Toomer loops. So, but yeah, had an awesome day. I'm gonna head back to my hotel and get ready for King's Dominion tomorrow and to fly home. My trip will be done. I hope you're enjoying all the parks that I'm hitting and enjoying the videos. I've had a giant amount of fun putting them together, and I hope you have had a giant amount of fun watching them. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And you get to feel fancy on the way out again. Oddly enough, most of the English people I know are not that fancy. Sorry if you're watching.